The April Pixel update is finally here, but if your Pixel got bricked last month, this is not the fix you are waiting for. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. That's the biggest surprise, and honestly, the biggest frustration. A lot of users were hoping this update would bring their phones back to life after the March update caused serious Bootloop issues. Instead, the update rolls out like everything is normal, while some devices are still basically unusable. And that matters more than it might sound. When a phone gets bricked, it's not just a small bug, you're locked out completely. No calls, no messages, no data access. For people relying on their Pixel as a daily driver, it turns into a very expensive paperweight overnight. So naturally, expectations for this April update were high. To be fair, this update isn't empty. It actually brings a decent set of bug fixes across multiple Pixel generations, from Pixel 6 all the way to Pixel 10 series devices. Interestingly, Google also included Pixel 6 and Pixel 7 models in what's now being called a quarterly update track, and they still got this April patch alongside newer phones. That's a nice move in terms of long-term support. But here's the catch. None of these fixes address the boot loop or bricking issue. Instead, the update focuses on smaller but still important problems. For example, there's a fix for a bug where the backup menu was missing from system settings under certain conditions. That's something a lot of users probably didn't even realize was broken until they needed it. There's also a fix for app stability, specifically issues where some banking apps and third-party apps would randomly crash. That's a pretty big deal, especially for apps dealing with payments or sensitive data. On the display and graphics side, there's a fix targeting certain Pixel 10 devices where games could crash unexpectedly. Not a universal issue, but definitely annoying if you ran into it. Then there are UI fixes, like the quick search bar disappearing from the home screen. Again, not critical, but it affects everyday usability. And finally, there's a Wi-Fi related fix, where Quick Share could crash during file transfers on Pixel 9 series devices. So overall, this is a classic stability update, cleaning up bugs, improving consistency, making the experience smoother. But none of that helps if your phone doesn't even turn on long enough to install a fix. That's the real problem here. Google is aware of the bricking issue, users have reported it through official channels, but so far there's been no public statement and no fix included in this release, and that silence is starting to stand out. If your Pixel was affected, your options right now are limited. There are a couple of workarounds floating around. One involves holding the power and volume buttons for about 30 seconds to try forcing a reboot. If the phone starts booting, you can press volume down during the animation to attempt bypassing the crash. Another option is going into recovery mode and performing a factory reset. That can sometimes bring the device back, but it comes with a major downside. You lose everything that isn't backed up: apps, photos, messages, all of it. So it's really a last resort. And even that isn't guaranteed to work, which leaves a lot of users stuck in a waiting game, possibly until the May update, unless Google pushes out a fix earlier. From a bigger picture perspective, this situation highlights something important about software updates. We usually think of them as improvements, and most of the time they are. But when something goes wrong at the system level, the recovery process becomes incredibly complicated, especially when the device can't even stay powered on long enough to install a fix. That's not an easy problem to solve, but at the same time, it's exactly the kind of scenario where users expect faster communication and quicker response. Right now, the April update feels like a split story. On one side, it's a solid patch that improves stability across a wide range of Pixel devices. On the other hand, it completely misses the one issue that some users care about the most. If your Pixel is working fine, this update is worth installing. You'll likely see fewer crashes and a smoother experience overall. But if your device got bricked last month, this update is basically a reminder that you're still waiting. And the big question now is whether Google addresses this quickly or lets it roll into the next monthly update. because for the people affected, every extra day without a fix is a big deal. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.